Hello everybody, welcome back to Road to Master. I hope you all have an amazing day. We're starting off with the white PC against the 2009, wow, from Turkey. Oh, what do we do? Let's stick with something we know slightly better for now. If we're playing a 2009, let's get a bit tricky with the Portsmouth Gambit and see what they do. Because this is a very high rated player. They take. So we'll go ahead with d4. As we know, d5 is the main choice. d6 is fine for them, I think. Yes, the question is, what do we do now? We could push d5. That's probably the move, actually. That's probably the move. I don't know. What do we do? What do we do? I'm not sure at all. We could go for anything. A3 is probably a move, right? A3 is probably a move. Queen A5 also probably a response. Sorry, by the way, if you hear my nose going. I just swore there. I tried to not swear, but yeah. It's hay fevers and it's pretty bad the last couple of days here. So yeah, apologies for that. They decide to take. Now this could give us a free pawn, but bishop g7 is looking straight at our rook, let's say. So I'm not really sure what the plan would be. They do just go back though, so we're fine, I think. We could also just take this. I think we play d5, right? I think we play d5. We can always play c3, covered by the knight. And yeah. We'll see what happens. They go there, which doesn't look right. We're just going to take that, surely. Block off their bishop. And now take this b pawn. We've got our material back. And we have a nice center. We could think about pushing c4. C5, b5. And I'm not upset here at all. I think we're doing quite well for ourselves. This bishop needs a bit of help. D3 will do it. D3 will do that, and we can castle. And everything seems okay. I'd like to potentially get. I don't know what we would do. I don't think they can really push much. B6 is probably a good shout from them. Yeah. Let's play a H3. I like H3. They're quite active on this G4 square. So it's probably a good shot. I want to play a bishop e3 as well, so that just stops the knight kicking that out. We'll get this knight in the game. And yeah. Keep going. Keep on keeping on, I say. Yeah, we just take that. And we have a passed d-pawn. Which is going to be very nice in the future. We can think about a bishop at a6. That's not one I expected, to be honest. But it's fine. We'll go knight c3. We'll get the queen up and get these rooks connected. I think we can think about trading up on the dark squares. They're looking for an f4 break, which is interesting. Very, very interesting, actually. I wouldn't have expected an f4 break here. Yeah, why? How do we stop that? Do we need to stop that? Takes, bishop takes, pawn takes. Rook takes, I guess. But that seems fine for us, right? That seems fine for us. We could alternatively go with f4 ourselves, but then we're left with this nasty sort of e-pawn looking thing. And I'm not a big fan of that. G4's potentially possible, but it's not something I would want to play. I reckon we just go Queen D2 and stick with the plan as per usual. We can think about a G5, Bishop G5. They go knight there? What on earth? Where's this knight going? I don't even mind an F3 here. I don't mind an F3 at all. Yeah, at F4 we just leave it. We continue with G5. I think Bishop G5 is good. We can get a rook on C1. Probably the A rook, to be honest. Because if this opens up, I'd like the support on the F file with the F rook. I don't know what their plan is, to be honest. I really don't. The F pawn seems like their break, but why not just do it then? Why not just do it then? Is the question. And I think... Ooh. Yeah, I think we can go Bishop G5. I don't see why we can't go Bishop G5. Worst case, we go back and around. But it seems like we're kicking the queen about a fair bit. And I'm a big fan of kicking the queen about. I'll happily trade off your dark squared bishop. Will I? Will I? Kind of don't have a choice anymore. We could go bishop there. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. I'm sorry. My brain's not working. I don't want to take, right? Take gives queen there, which I'm not a fan of. So maybe just bishop there, and we'll drop it back. Go there. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad at all. I don't mind trading off bishops here because queen doesn't take, right? Right? I think. Yes. I think that's how that works. I think that's how that works. Where are we going? I'm not sure where we're going. I'm struggling to find a plan. Other than like going there and looking to trade off on the b5 square, I guess. We have a bad bishop. That is a key thing. We have a bad bishop, which is fine. We just need the position to open up a bit more because we have this pass pawn, which is good for us. I think knight there first is a priority. Whoa. Oh, yeah. I was like, does that not give a pawn? But the knight is hanging there, which is forcing, I guess. Forcing enough for me anyway. I am slow today. I am very, very slow today. And it looks like we're going into an endgame. Looks like we're going into an endgame. Plenty of time left on the clock for now. They have the open file, but I think the pressure on the a7 pawn is going to be plenty for us. Plus, we have the pressure of the pass pawn as well, which is good. I don't think they're going to want to open up yet. And we're all happy. The question is, what do we do with our rooks? We probably go rook c1, right? They can't really defend this. They go defending there. Okay. Now, we could play a passive move like queen f1. No, we can't because pawn takes. We need to stay active, though. I think that's key here. We very much need to stay active. We can think about a queen d3 with takes. And try potentially push these. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. We're definitely the ones with the play, I think, which is good. They have limited space. We have more space. We have this pass pawn, and they have this weakness on a7. So I think we're definitely the ones pushing, but it's very hard to actually see concrete things. Because the rooks and the queen are so solid. It's tricky. It's tricky to say the least. We could go for a pawn push here, but the rook just comes back, and after rook d1, the king just sort of comes in. We could go like queen d5 and try to cause chaos with like this h pawn, and actually target this e pawn, which I don't mind, to be honest. I don't mind. Worst case, we potentially go down a pawn, which is still drawable in this situation. They take with the queen. That's a good call. I like that from them. Yeah, I missed that. Okay, no, that's fine. We'll go rook d1. And then free up our queen to go like queen d5 again, potentially. Yeah, this is looking drawn. I hate to break it, but this is looking drawn. Queen d5. There's not much that can be done, unfortunately, at all. We'll go rook a1 again. Look for a7 if this rook ever moves, just tying it down, basically. We can think about a queen e8, but that's not particularly actually doing anything at all, really, which is fine. To be honest, I'd take a draw against the 2000 in this position as well. I think it's the least of our worries. We could actually go a6, rook a6 here, and drop back the queen to a4 is interesting. Just line everything up on a7 is a good idea, I think. They could infiltrate slightly, if that... I don't think it's a worry. Yeah, they could like give a pointless check, I guess, but I'm not worried about that at all. They're gonna have to really work to defend a7. I think if the queens trade off, it works out for us in a king and pawn endgame. There are still rooks on the board, granted, but I think if we can get to a king and pawn endgame, it would work out for us. Yeah, they go for the queen trade. I think we have to, right? I think we have to, and get the king in the game. Yeah. It could check us. We'll get the king up, sure. Why not? Why not? A7 is the big threat, so I am fine with that. They can't physically get the king in because of the b4 and d whatever that is pawn, which is good. And yeah, the king's in the game now, so I'm feeling a bit more confident. A bit more confident. I will say it is only a bit. But we are realistically probably heading for a draw. I'll play h4 here. I don't mind h4 at all. Stops g5 breaks. They're going king there, which is strange to me. We'll drop the rook back as well. It's potentially letting them push a5 at some point. But I think we really need to start pushing our advantage. Like, that's the only way we're going to get a good result out of this, is if we do actually push our advantage at some point. Now the question is, does rook c2 trade actually work? And this is probably why a3 was better than a2 when we move backwards, because it's a bit closer to the action. Let's move a3. Let's move a3 and just we'll delay the trade for a bit. We'll calculate if that works. I don't know what their next move is. They go back, which is wild to me. Very, very wild. I don't know what they're doing with that one, to be honest. There, rook takes, king there, king there. There. We have potential breaks here. Takes. I don't think that works. Takes. Is interesting. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. We'll trade off. I'm confident in my king and pawn ability that we should be able to draw this at least. The problem is their pass pawn, but our pass pawn is a good enough counter. And now we'll go c2. This rook's a bit useless here. And the problem is our rook's blocking off their king. So we can actually threaten to push this pawn. If they're not careful, we're going to push and promote the pawn. Huge, huge problem for them. They probably should play a5 here, although questionable, to be honest. Questionable. Yeah, I'll take it. There. King there. We probably go king up, right? Probably go king up. Get towards this pawn. The king can't come in. And we go there. Now we go. Oh, we lost on time. Oh, I didn't think we were going to lose on time. Completely lost track of that. Yeah. I don't know where that time went. We sunk that a bit. We definitely sunk that a bit. It's such a fun end game though. I really wanted to play this out. I really wanted to play that out. Because we're desperate to push this d pawn, but the problem is they have this d1 check, threatening to win the pawn as soon as it's pushed. We could block the check, but then this king's just coming in uninterrupted. So I wanted to get this king in and potentially like threaten both takes and push, but that doesn't really do anything. Get the rook on the d file, but then the king's sort of making its way in a bit. It's probably drawn. Maybe I was pushing it a bit too much, but also I really wanted to see what happened, to be honest. I really wanted to see what happened. And the computer's saying slightly better for white, but probably just drawn. 78.9 versus 76.3. And I think the fact that we had a higher accuracy against a 2000 is a good sign. For sure. Anyway, we know this theory a bit. These d6, e6 moves are always kind of awkward because it's not playing into the sort of style you want to play from the Portsmouth Gambit. a3 is usually a good idea. g6 makes complete sense. And then d5, we win the pawn. But apparently you don't even play for the pawn, you play for b2, bishop b2, which threatens that, I guess, as well as, I don't even know. Probably just a nicer way to get back the pawn. c4, and I just like this position. Like, there's nothing to it, I just like this position. It's screaming at us to play knight c3, which we did eventually. And it really wants us to play knight c3 because apparently we lose all our advantage with bishop e3, which is insane. And the reason is knight takes. I don't know. Knight takes b5 maybe, and you're just trying to swap off knights and make this like a bad bishop. I don't really know. It makes sense. We finally go knight c3, and it's actually saying we've got our advantage back a bit. F3 is a bit passive. It wants rook a6 for some reason, which is a bit insane. Going all the way suddenly, but I guess that stops any break or a6 idea. I'm not really sure. Bishop g5, not the best move, and takes not particularly good either. Queen e2's passive. Knight b5 is not the correct idea, and this we were right in feeling this was sort of drawish, because the computer's saying plus 0.7, so practically drawn. The trade was good for us. We go up to 1.1, and it's really oh, we win a pawn here. We win a pawn here. That's silly. No, we lose this pawn though. I'm not sure then. Why is that a thing? If takes, rook takes. I wouldn't say this is clearly winning. I really wouldn't say this is clearly winning. This pawn's easier to push. I guess if everything gets traded off, this side's good. Although the king would need to be very careful of these pawns. I'm not so sure. Like, this is a computery line, and queen endgames are always sort of like that, because there are just so many checks to consider. You can't calculate literally everything. People probably can calculate literally everything, but I definitely can't. Definitely cannot. One thing, just looking back at that, how weird it was, how quickly it turned into an endgame. And I think that's probably not a good thing. It probably means we weren't using our advantage well enough. And we're too quick to trade things off. We messed around here trying to win this a-pawn. Not that it happened. And we traded off the queens. Apparently not ideal either. And then we get the king in. I think they were slow to reclaim the open file. That's what I would have done straight away. With threats of rook c2. Looks nice. But they didn't. And we kept messing about. We really did keep messing about here. Just wondering, rook a3, is that worth? Rook a3 is fine still. Still playing for a draw. Yeah, this is dead draw. This is dead draw. I thought potentially, although this is good now. Wow, what? You just got d3. That's a bit insane. Rook a2. Rook there. I guess this is just too much. No, that's going back to a draw. You don't push this pawn. What the? You go f4? Wow, that's insane. So if takes, then push is the answer. And if takes, then takes is the answer. And either way, you're getting connected past pawns. That's ridiculous. Wow. And then we time out here, which is apparently completely winning. Like 2.5, plus 2.5, which is insane. I don't know how this is 2.5. Probably a similar idea. Yeah. Wow. I love this game so much. I love and hate this game. It's crazy. I'll never understand rook endgames at all. In my life, I will never understand rook endgames. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like if you liked. Please subscribe if you really liked. And I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Bye-bye.